Hello, and welcome to Utterly Geek. I'm Darren Bell. I'm joined, as always, by Chris Walzik and Stephen Petrella.
Hi.
Thank you for joining us. We're here to discuss the week's video game news. And
Hey, are we doing an ASMR one?
no, I was trying to go more for the NPR side of
okay.
things,
Oh,
but-
sorry. My bad.
And I listen to a lot of NPR, and I can understand there's a very fine line between NPR and ASMR.
Mm-hmm.
I really believe there's a part of me that really believes that ASMR kind of stems from the NPR talk.
Probably.
Yeah.
Ira Glass kind of started it.
Yeah, kind of. Bob Ross, I think.
Man. Bob Ross is like the motherfucking grandfather of that shit.
Yeah, he is. Bob Ross is one of the dudes. I do think I think NPR is pretty big on it. I know they did have. I think they had a This American Life episode that actually had someone who was addicted to watching ASMR videos on YouTube.
Addicted.
It was actually pretty interesting to listen to, because it was like this woman who was living this life while her boyfriend was like, "What the fuck are you doing? What is going on every night? Why the fuck are you listening to these videos all the time?"
Doesn't go to their job or anything, just sat home and listen to
just like at night when she was home before she went to sleep for like a couple hours, she would watch ASMR videos, and she would like hunt them down, but she was like in the midst of it before ASMR was like huge on YouTube,
right,
where she was like really just like hunting them down hard and just trying to find like whispering and stuff, because I don't think when she was doing it, I don't think it was called ASMR yet.
Oh, okay.
It was just like they were looking for like whisper stuff and all of that. Yeah, it was just there, and there was I think it was called the Whisper community at that point before they coined it ASMR. It's a pretty interesting episode.
I need to start listening to that show again. I kind of fell off.
Yeah, me too.
This American Life's pretty awesome. Highly recommend it. But enough about ASMR and how people talk. We're here to talk about video games.
We're here to talk about how we talk about talking about.
Yeah.
Video.
And if you get ASMR from our podcast, hey,
that's an unintended side effect, and we're happy that you're happy.
Mm-hmm.
And I probably killed every headphone user just on that.
Yeah, we're not going to put a warning on this one.
Yeah, they fucked right off after you screamed. They were like, all right.
Yeah.
I'm fully awake now. I'm fully awake. Like, this is all right.
Yeah.
I don't need coffee now. I'm alert.
The ASMR cockroaches have all scattered from the light that is Wally's booming voice.
Yeah.
Yes.
So speaking of booming, Billy Mitchell has blown up. Twin Galaxies got out there earlier this week, and there was a long dispute. We reported a few weeks ago that there was a dispute over his scores, specifically for Donkey Kong. If you went to the Twin Galaxies website, there was an asterisk next to his name. There has been a lot of research done into this, and they found that Billy Mitchell's Donkey Kong videotapes that he had submitted earlier for world records, claiming that he was the first to make 1 million points, were falsified. They were running on a version of MAME. If you have seen The King of Kong, you know the video that is in dispute, because it was kind of disputed at that point, but Twin Galaxies didn't see an issue with it at the time. So they've revoked all of his Donkey Kong records and all of his records officially across the board, even his Pac-Man record, which was the first Pac-Man all clear, which he performed live with an audience and a certified arcade board, an arcade cabinet. He doesn't hold any records now. Billy Mitchell now has a high score of 0 in everything.
He is the biggest loser now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, officially. So I totally get wanting to be really punitive with the damages against Billy Mitchell, like removing his name, all of his records. I get that because cheating is fucking serious.
Yep.
And I read a technical breakdown of how they actually track this down, and it comes down to a frame-by-frame comparison of his video footage, which is supposedly direct feed from the cabinet. And what they found was how MAME draws an image. The sequencing of drawing an image is inconsistent with the original arcade board. It has to do with drawing an image on the screen and how you are refreshing. From my understanding, it's either a vertical or a horizontal. I might be talking out my ass at this point. It got a little bit super technical.
Yeah. I watched the video too, and basically, it's just the way that the game like spawns in, kind of. So when it starts up, it's the way it organizes the shapes while it starts up, and they both do it differently. So they compared like his to the emulator, and it was exactly the same, and then they showed what it would do if you had an actual Donkey Kong board, and it's different, which is, I mean, it's pretty interesting that they spawn differently like that.
Yeah, that you can detect it that way. The thing in the back of my mind is this kind of shoots Twin Galaxies' reputation in the goddamn foot.
Oh yeah.
This has been up there for years. They should have been able to detect this.
Yeah.
Well before now.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think, you know what, I think it is possibly because he was basically the golden child of Twin Galaxies. He held a lot of records. And now that, at this point, now that he doesn't, maybe they were like, well, fuck, we got to dispute this. And we got to look into it harder, because maybe he was just making money for them, and they knew something fishy was going on, but they just didn't at that point. Were like, all right, let's just let this ride. And then later on, I think that actually doesn't bode well for Twin Galaxies, because they probably, I mean, if at this point they're looking into it, they probably knew that there was something fishy to begin with, and they just didn't do anything. And I mean, you can kind of see in King of Kong too, when he sends the tape in, they're just like quick to say, oh, it's good.
Yeah.
Without really analyzing it, and just being like, oh, that's a good record. And then you have like Steve Wiebe or whatever I think his name is like fucking fighting hard to get recognition from these guys, and they won't even recognize him when he's there doing the shit. And then Billy Mitchell sends in the video, and they're like, oh yeah, he did it, good job, dude.
Yeah, but the thing that gets me is I don't think they should strip his perfect Pac-Man, because he was the first one to do that, and he did it live.
Yeah.
But it's a double-edged sword. I get needing to punish it, but at the same time, like he did that.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, the dude's was good at classic video games. There's no doubt. I mean, he just did that shit on an emulator, and it's not the same. So
now he's just gonna go cry into his hot sauce.
Yeah, I guess he came out and said like, "Oh, I know how to dispute this, and we're going to." But
yeah, no, fuck off.
Yeah, you're not going to.
You are the villain in all of this.
Yes.
And good fucking riddance. Like, neither of them at this point are even close to holding the actual Donkey Kong world record. But Steve Wiebe is now officially recognized as the first to break 1 million points.
Yeah.
In Donkey Kong, so at least there's something. I let us never speak of Billy Mitchell again.
Okay.
Done. Easy for me.
Yep.
Steam has updated and given us a few details as to new profile privacy settings. This is live right now in Steam. You can now select specifically who can view your game details, which includes any games you've purchased or wishlisted, along with achievements and playtime. You can also control whether or not you're seen as in-game and the title of the game that you're playing. So if you don't want anyone to know, you can just be like, hey, I'm on, talk to me. Or if you really don't care, you can let it stay as it is. But like for me, I don't care if people know that I'm playing a game.
Yeah.
Personally.
Yeah.
But I like the options.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's more important for me is looking ahead a little. They have a quote here. We're also working on new invisible mode in addition to the already existing online, away, and offline. If you choose invisible, you'll appear offline, but you can still view your friends list, send and receive messages. So you can just be like, yo, no, I'm not online, but surprise, I'm actually online.
Yeah.
I can tell you the number one genre of game that will be played in invisible mode. All of those sexy visual novels.
Yes.
Yes.
It will be fascinating to track the sale of those games and see if they spike. Because if you can now hide that from absolutely everyone on your friends list and still play them.
Right.
It's like when e-readers and Kindles got popular, sales of erotica literature shot through the roof because no one sees a cover.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that they're doing that. Like, hey, man, people deserve privacy. If they want to play something, they shouldn't be judged for it if they don't, want to show it out there.
Mm-hmm.
So
the only problem with this is that this has kind of broken all of their APIs. So things like Steam Spy, which the industry uses as anonymized data, is no longer available. They had to pull that offline.
Yeah.
So a very useful tool for feedback on how people play and interact with your games is now completely busted because of this. And the really unfortunate thing is that Steam Spy is organized and run by a group outside of Valve. So it's not like Valve can just shift that and start sending that data unless they hire those people on to do stuff behind the scenes so that they can still collect that anonymized data.
Right.
But honestly, fucking deal with it.
Mm-hmm.
Give me more privacy. Companies just fucking deal with it.
Yeah.
It's just, I wonder if they're trying to get out ahead of potential new legislation in the European market. Because if Facebook is any indicator, there's definitely new privacy laws that are coming down the pipe in the UK. So I wonder if Steam's just hedging their bets and going, no, we'll be fine.
Yeah.
Try to stay ahead of the curve.
Yeah. It makes sense in this time to try to make things a little bit more private for people, because, people are noticing it now a lot. So
people are going to be sensitive.
Even if it's the point where I'm fucking noticing it, it's like, God damn.
That's saying something.
Something done fucked up.
Yeah.
Even if I'm concerned about my privacy, even though for years people have been like, man, your privacy, think about it. I'm like, man, whatever.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Fucking who gives a shit?
Finally happened where you're like, oh wait, I gives a shit.
Yeah. Suddenly I do gives a shit. Yeah.
Yeah, it happens. So there was a rumor coming out of a Kotaku article in which they were interviewing Hangar 13 developers, Mafia 3 devs, about the sordid history of development of Mafia 3, and they kind of let slip that they were looking over at another dev studio close by them, like right across the street, and they're like, yo, they're working on that new BioShock thing. Which collectively made the internet go, excuse me?
What?
But
I don't know. I'm okay with not another BioShock though.
Me too.
Me too.
I don't want another BioShock.
It ended on Infinite, and I'm okay that it ended on Infinite.
Yeah.
I don't. It's fine. It's fine.
Yeah.
The only way I would be okay with the new BioShock is if, surprise, it's actually Ken Levine and it's something he's been wanting to do with BioShock. But if we're talking a BioShock 2 scenario here where it's just some outside dillhole trying to ride the name of BioShock,
yeah,
that's where I will draw the line.
Yeah. If they're gonna make like a new, like if it's BioShock and it's Ken Levine and it's like a new world outside of like this, I'd be okay with it. I don't want, I want something new.
Exactly.
But I think that Infinite was a fine ending for for the BioShock franchise, I don't think we need to go back to that shit. Like, I'm good with Infinite. But
Agreed.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's because what didn't 2K worked on BioShock 2, right?
Yes.
yeah,
And that was like okay at best. Only had a few really good moments, but like it still wasn't either. It wasn't BioShock 1 and Infinite where it was like fucking mind blowing.
yeah,
Good.
At
least with the story, the gameplay was like meh, okay.
So yeah,
both games.
It was 2K Marin.
Okay.
Oh, apparently members of who went on to Arcane worked on it. No, I'm of a similar mindset. BioShock 2 played better than the first BioShock. Mechanically, it is a more solid game.
Oh yeah.
It's just not necessary. It's still good, and I would highly still recommend it.
Mm-hmm.
It's just not necessary.
Yeah. Yeah. It didn't add much to the universe as far as story. Like, I do think I enjoyed it and I had a lot of fun with it, and there are some really cool moments in the game, but it's just like it didn't have those awesome story points that BioShock and Infinite had.
It's like having a Halo 4.
Yeah.
Think about that, where it was like, hey, it's done. Let's leave it be. But then, hey, but what if it continues somehow? Like,
but there were some amazing scenes and amazing things that happen in BioShock 2 that make you rethink all of Rapture. Spoilers for an ancient game. The portion where you end up playing as a little sister and seeing the world through their eyes is like, holy shit. Like, that's a defining moment of that game. Getting hunted by a big sister and like just the whole play style change up of the big sister versus a big daddy, her being nimble, and like there's a lot of cool going on in BioShock 2.
Oh yeah. Absolutely.
It just wasn't necessary.
Yeah.
And yeah, I feel a new one would risk the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
We've been under the water. We've been over the clouds. What's next?
In between.
So
that.
Out of space. You take
so then that's just System Shock.
You take a rocket.
Yeah, exactly.
And then you go into space, and it's like, welcome to space. It's got that guy who's
not
like,
Shodan.
My name is
totally not Shodan. Ignore me. And then suddenly becomes a Venture Brothers game, and it's like, whoa, awesome!
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah, sign me up. Sign me up. You just play as Brock, and the only weapon you have is your fists and your cigarettes
and knife.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, I would. Yeah,
and your Bowie knife.
Call it Venture Shock. Takes place on Gargantua 2.
Yep. Sweet.
Fuck. Yeah.
Make it happen, Adult Swim video games.
Hell, I'd just take another poker night that's just Venture Brothers.
I guess.
Yeah. I want another poker night. But I guess, I mean, if
Telltale's
it's true...
too much, they're too busy taking fucking studio trademarked bullshit and just making stuff with that.
Yeah. I don't know. My guess is if there is a new BioShock on the way, we'll see it at E3 at this point.
Yeah. If it's leaking, they're probably just going to be like, fuck it, we gotta.
Yeah.
Or it might be announced soon-ish. Like, I don't know.
Like 2 months at E3.
Yeah, well.
It is, it is
E3 soon, man.
I know.
Getting closer every day. Speaking of leaks on projects that were never released, there has been a 600-page document, a design doc for Battlefront 3/4. Now, I didn't have time to dig into this. Wally, I figured you had dug through it.
I got to the first 100 pages. I did not go beyond there. It is a Google Doc that is basically shows a design history throughout the years between 2006 and 2010 2009, with all the different changes in UI, in menu, gameplay UI, basically everything from head to toe, like how things animate, how they react, how certain lighting features work, stuff like that, like in full detail, with showing examples of either video footage that's like in some kind of like archive website, or if it's just a GIF that's within the document. And then also shows like how it looks across different systems between the 360, PS3, and Wii. To give you an idea of how long ago this fucking thing was made.
There was a Wii version?
There was a Wii version that had a Wiimote and nunchuck that they were going to use for Battlefront.
Well, lots of games use the Wii Remote and nunchuck pretty effectively as a standard game.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it was going to be made for Wii as well. So they had different graphics for that as well, like different UI settings, where it was different from the consoles and PC version. But yeah, like I said, I only got to the first 100 pages, looking at a lot of it. I mean, because it eventually gets to a point where it's like there's 4 or 5 images per page, so you really could eventually get to a point where you're just fucking scrolling and scrolling and scrolling and scrolling, just like be able to get it as a glance, like while you're just going down. But yeah, it's kind of cool, I guess, to kind of see like something that's a little behind the scenes of how like its development and how far along they've come,
and what could have been.
Yeah, and what could have been. But also I know that when I was reading the comments that a lot of people really did read a lot more into it than I did. And they said that the further along they went across it, the more depressed they got, because they were just like, man, I wanted this game so fucking badly, and it's like, well, yep, it's shit, but sorry.
It really makes me wonder because this I'm assuming has existed since forever.
Oh yeah.
So why wouldn't a company like EA take a look at this and evaluate that as a viable opportunity versus making their own, in like beating what they think people want into the mold of what they can make?
Mm-hmm.
Whereas this is clearly more well thought out, and I don't know. I don't work on games, so I'm not the one to answer that.
Right.
I think it just doesn't make sense to me.
I think it's more of just creative property that they just want to have their own thing instead of just relying on other people's stuff that they've made. I don't know.
Right.
But even then, it's kind of like, I don't know. I can't think of the words for it, but I think it just might just come down to they wanted to have their own way of creating it, of how they envisioned the game being, and not what was already made.
Right.
Even though it is significantly less and worse than the previous titles, lacking in content.
There's nothing wrong with taking a good idea and then building upon it.
Right.
Like, there's nothing wrong with, like, I mean, that's just art in general. Like, most people are inspired by something else, and then they create something that is inspired by that, but it's not exactly that, you know? So, Who gives a fuck, man?
What's that
make
video?
Make a good game.
You showed me this before, Darren. It was a video where it was like some song or something that was used across numerous pop songs across the years. It was like some kind of little tune.
Oh, the 4-chord song.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah, I think it's Axis of Awesome. They're an Australian comedic band, and they've continued to update that.
Awesome.
Just go to YouTube, search Axis of Awesome 4-chord song. I think at this point it's like 20 minutes long.
Oh, Jesus.
because they just go through all the generations of music where these same 4 chords in this same progression just continue to be used throughout all of music. And that's not a judgment on the quality of it, just an observation that this is a repeated pattern that people tend to see within music.
Yeah.
And I don't know.
People enjoy it.
Hilarious. Yeah. There's nothing wrong with liking the least common denominator, poppy, generic. This is generic video game, generic television show. Fuck, if you just want to listen to generic pop music and watch Big Bang Theory every night of the week, I won't judge you for it.
God, I will. I will. Yeah.
Just don't tell anybody you do that.
At least don't tell me about it. Holy shit. Oh.
I don't like Big Bang Theory. I don't like generic pop music. But if that's what, floats your boat.
Yeah, if you're enjoying it.
Generic pop music I'm okay with from time to time because, whatever. I mean, fucking whatever. But Big Bang Theory.
And then go to eat at any chain restaurant.
Yeah.
Applebee's.
I was just thinking Applebee's. Applebee's, Chili's.
Well, there used to be a demarcation there. Chili's actually used to be Mexican food. It no longer is.
Oh, God.
Years and years ago, Chili's used to be really good.
Yeah, it did.
And now they've maintained their menu down to the least common denominator, and now it's just an Applebee's with a chili on it instead of an apple.
That sucks. I used to really like Chili's. Anyway, massive derailing aside.
Well, speaking of Battlefront 2, they've announced a new update as well for the current Battlefront 2. I forget what they're calling it. The Night on Endor update. They are
because apparently had to keep going on Endor. They had to keep fighting for whatever reason.
Well, I think it's actually set during the 3rd movie at this stage.
Okay.
This particular event, I don't know what that's all about, but basically they've kind of turned it into a weird ass horror game where one team is Ewoks with spears and things, and they're working on ambushing the other team that is stormtroopers that can't see in the dark and have narrow flashlights.
Mm-hmm.
And the Ewoks win when they destroy all of the stormtroopers, but the stormtroopers win if they proceed to a certain point. So the Ewoks are running around setting up traps and shit and trying to ambush the other players.
Right.
It sounds kind of neat for me.
Yeah. Yeah. I like the idea.
Yeah, and it basically can help explain why teddy bears could take down the Empire.
Oh, God.
But fans of the game are upset by it because it's more classic trilogy content for that game, and they don't really have any prequel stuff.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So people are real upset at that. They also outlined...
because they said as part of their promotional material, we're going across all eras.
Yeah.
We're making sure that that's what they're doing, and they still haven't. They've mostly been focusing on the original trilogy.
Yeah. And I can get why, if I was a fan of Battlefront 2, I would be upset at this.
Yeah.
Give us some episode 1 shit, man. Come on.
Prequel memes. That's all you want.
They're hot right now.
That's all you want is the meme. But most importantly, this adds microtransactions back into the game.
Oh, God.
Crystals are back in the game. You can use them to unlock appearances, including Endor Leia and Endor Han. Real-world currency can only be used to purchase crystals, which are only redeemable for appearances. Credits are also earned in-game and can be used toward appearances as well. 50 more appearances will be in this update. So, yeah, cosmetics. People are also upset at some of these appearances because they're generic bullshit. Some don't really look great. So, like, One of them is Chewbacca, who's wounded, so he has a patch on his arm. One is just Kylo Ren, but now he's got a scar and a patch over it.
Yeah.
Yeah, where the fuck is Pink Darth Vader, damn it?
There's Yoda with his hood up.
Because they don't want to break canon.
Exactly. These are the cosmetics that Disney has approved. I don't know. Put his hood up.
I don't know, man. Just fucking put it up.
So stupid. Give me my fucking Hello Kitty Darth Vader.
Yes.
That's kind of funny. Just thinking of it like that. Like fucking. I don't know, man. Put a hood up.
Put his hood on.
But it's Vader. Just put a hood up.
He's got a hood now. It's fine.
I mean, helmetless Vader would be pretty cool.
Yeah, that would be awesome with his fucking harmonica mouth.
Yeah. Like, it would just be hilarious.
I just picture him, like, fucking playing harmonica while he's running around fucking slaughtering people. What the shit?
Harmonica.
Well, you remember that last...
That would be so fucking great. If it was a harmonica instead of the mask.
Oh,
instead of breathing, you just hear...
Like, yeah, you hear...
Fuck, Vader's here. I hear a harmonica.
Like the shitty Jurassic Park theme through a recorder.
Oh, God.
That's exactly where my mind went.
Jesus Christ.
Now, I would pay cash money for that skin.
Yeah.
Well, you also got to pay cash money for Battlefront 2 before you get
Makes
to that.
It more like PUBG. You're like, oh shit, I hear Vader coming. Your bad harmonica music in the background.
Be fucking good. Yeah, I don't know. Battlefront 2 still not worth it in my mind. But you know it is worth it. Backwards compatibility. Xbox has announced a new slew of original Xbox games coming to backward compatibility on Xbox One. Starting on April 17th, you'll be able to get the following games to run on your Xbox One. Blinks, the Time Sweeper. Breakdown, Conquer Live and Reloaded, Morrowind, Hunter the Reckoning, Jade Empire, Panzer Dragoon Orta, and SSX3. Morrowind's a good get. I mean, Conquer Live and Reloaded is A, fucking rare, and B, why would you buy that when you can just buy Rare Replay and play the good version of Conquer?
Yeah.
But also Jade Empire. Fuck yeah, Jade Empire.
Jade Empire, that's pretty, yeah.
That's one I have in my game library. I just haven't played, even though I keep hearing it's really fucking good.
Same. I've probably bought that game 3 times. I still haven't played it.
Yep.
And then April 26th, there's going to be another slew of games coming out, including Destroy All Humans, Full Spectrum Warrior, Mercenaries, Playground of Destruction, MX Unleashed, Panzer Elite Action, Fields of Glory. Oh, wait, that's Europe only. And Star Wars Battlefront, Star Wars Battlefront 2, Star Wars Jedi Knight Jedi Academy, Star Wars Jedi Starfighter, Knights of the Old Republic 2, The Sith Lords, and Star Wars Republic Commando. Those are all really good Star Wars games, with the exception of maybe Jedi Starfighter.
Mm-hmm.
But now you can play both KOTORs on the Xbox One via backwards compatibility. I cannot get over how weird that feels to open an original Xbox case, put it into an Xbox One, and have it fucking work. I cannot stress that enough.
I wonder if that's Microsoft's strategy. They're like, man, we're not coming out with any new games, but backwards compatibility. That's how we can get people to fucking buy our Xbox One, just to be able to play all these old games.
Well, it's working with me. That's kind of the reason I'm keeping that thing around.
There's almost makes me want to get another fucking Xbox One, because I'm like, damn, there's certain games that I really want to see, but like I'd like to see Stubbs the Zombie. Like I want to fucking play that game again.
I want to play that game first. I've never played it.
Oh man, I just want to experience it again to see, like, because I loved it so much, to be like, wait, this game sucks, or wait, this game's a masterpiece.
Yeah.
Like there's games that I really want to experience in that, like, just to see how they hold up. And I like that they're doing this. I mean, but I think Wally's right. I think like it is a way for them to just like they know they don't have a lot of content, and this is the best way to keep people buying their consoles.
At least right now.
Yeah, at least right now.
They need to come out swinging at E3. Like if they don't come out with at least 5 like stellar breakaway console exclusives, they'll probably be really...
Halo 6.
Well, yeah, that's going to be there. I wonder if we're going to see Crackdown 3 in any capacity.
Oh yeah.
And also, who will care?
Not a lot of people.
The good thing and the bad thing about all of these games coming to backwards compatibility is that they become available digitally as well. I say it's bad because if you're collecting physical copies, the value of those is dead.
Yeah.
But it's also great because now everyone can play these games. Like you can pick up Morrowind. Well, that's a bad example. Conquer Live and Reloaded because it's expensive.
Right.
Yeah, I mean it could be good for physical collect. I mean, unless you only want to collect because you want to buy this game because it costs a couple $100 because it's rare to get.
Well, so that's the thing. The price of physical games is kind of weird once you get to a certain age because the value is determined by a number of different elements, including rarity. That's a big one. That's arguably the biggest one. But also, people have to want to play it as well to boost that value. And by making it physical only, like if you track the old price of a physical copy of Earthbound, before that was available digitally on the Wii U, a physical copy of Earthbound I never saw for less than $250 because the only way to play Earthbound was to buy a cartridge. Once it became digitally available, that dropped down to about 100, 150. And then they bundled it in with the SNES Classic. So that dropped its value even more. So having it easily available will really hurt that overall quality.
That's the people who are collecting because of that, basically.
Oh, yeah. Cash out now.
Like, like people like me who like I want those games and I would want them physically. I'm happy that they would be going down in price.
Yeah, personally. No, I immediately bought a physical copy of Old Republic 2. Like, yeah, Steve, you and I both were feeding into that.
Yeah.
I didn't want to buy that one digitally. But like Battlefront 2 on the original Xbox, that still will run you over $60.
Jeez.
Because that's hard to find.
Yeah.
And I will probably buy those digitally. Because I loved playing those games split screen.
Yeah.
Those games are good. Plus, this adds online multiplayer to them.
Oh, nice.
If they used Xbox Live will be enabled.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. I want to see the numbers on multiplayer connectivity for Battlefront 2, proper Battlefront 2, once that comes out.
Right.
Oh, let's see here. We had a couple of new weird announcements as well. In a move that was not unexpected from me, Sega has announced Shenmue 1 and 2 are being ported to the PS4, Xbox One, and PC. With Shenmue 3 looming on the horizon, it makes sense because a lot of people probably haven't played Shenmue 1 and 2.
Yeah.
So they've announced that you can buy them both in a bundle for $40. That's both Shenmue 1 and 2. As someone who played Shenmue 1 back in the day and really loved it because it was, at the time, felt revolutionary for me, I highly doubt it will hold up well.
Yeah.
In any capacity.
Yeah. Because they're not like doing like a remake or remaster. No. It's just an upscale. So that way it works on
upscale port.
modern machines, yeah.
They have said that they will probably add like anti-aliasing, widescreen support, that kind of thing, but no new texture work, no new modeling, no new assets.
Yeah.
It's gonna look muddy. And there's a sick part of me that's like, you need to buy those. You need to do the math. You need to figure this out. But then the rest of me is like, no.
Yeah.
I never played Shenmue 2. I played Shenmue. Not unexpected, though.
I guess. Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, with 3 are coming out soon, whenever the hell it'll come out.
Fuck. Listen, there's so much. I still don't know who's actually making that thing. Who's paying for that thing.
Yeah.
After their weird Sony, like, hey, look, it's a Kickstarter. It's the Yu Suzuki, and here we go. Like, wait, is this Sony? Nope, kind of, not really, maybe. I don't know. It's live.
Yeah.
Like, it rubs me all kinds of wrong. Sega is apparently getting into the whole little tiny system game with the Sega Mega Drive Mini, which I didn't think would be the system they would want to put that out on. There's no indication as to what games will be on it, but it just looks like a tiny Raspberry Pi with a Mega Drive chassis.
Yeah.
Cool. I think they'll be disappointed when they don't see many of those move. I don't know anyone who had a Mega Drive.
Yeah.
It was the Genesis that really took off.
Yeah. Now I'm looking at it. Yeah, the only thing, I mean, it looks similar to a Genesis, but the only thing I did play was Genesis. Or at least I had a friend who had a Genesis that I played it off of, and that was it. But a Mega Drive? No.
So I don't know. There's a shitty like 8. Well, okay, it's 16, but like a 16-bit version of Sonic on that did not run great. I've seen video. It's.
Oof.
Yeah, I don't know. I would rather see a Genesis. Or give me a Saturn. Well, there were a couple of cool Saturn games, and that system didn't sell for shit.
There's already a Genesis one. I've seen it.
Yeah, there is.
Oh, a Genesis Mini?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, kind of. I know they have the one that's like Genesis that's preloaded with like 70 games or something like that.
Yeah, they have some. If you go into any electronics section of like Target, Walmart, whatever, and just go there, they have. You will see at least one of a like Genesis thing where it's just exactly as Steve was saying, where it's like preloaded with like 50 to 70 games or something, all and Genesis like big titles, like Sonic 1 through 3, and then other games on there, and then. But yeah, it's like it's a very similar concept to the SNES, where it's just like, oh, you just basically plug it in. Start it up and it runs kind of deal.
Okay, so the reason why we're confused about the Mega Drive Mini is that the Genesis was called the Mega Drive everywhere else in the world.
Okay.
So this is a Genesis Mini, an official one. That one that you're talking about was exactly one of those like plug into the TV and play type situations that I guess. Now that I think about it, it's a mini. Like,
it's the same thing.
Yeah, except I think this one has HDMI out. I think that's the difference. Like all the Nintendo ones are HDMI; they're not RCA.
Okay.
And they have save states and things like that. And those other ones, I don't think have save states. I don't think it's like honest like emulation. I think it's emulating differently.
Okay.
And I know you sure as shit can't hack those to add more games to them.
Yeah. Comes with 81 games.
Okay.
That Genesis. The
new
Genesis. One? No, I don't know what the new one comes with, but that the one that's already out, the Genesis.
Yep. I don't know. Apparently they took them a couple of years to go like, hey, Nintendo's doing something good over there. We should copy them.
Right.
Okay. This last announcement's basically just for me to get happy.
That's okay. Mine is a little bit of a personal happiness as well. So go right ahead. We'll share them.
Cyan Worlds has announced this year is the 25th anniversary of Myst. Myst, a seminal game for me to launch me into understanding storytelling in the medium and excellent puzzle design and immersive worlds and that kind of thing. They have regained the rights to all of the core 5 Myst games, including Uru as a 6th game. And they are modernizing them to run on current systems. They haven't talked about any kind of HD or update or any kind of increased detail or resolution on anything. But they have promised to get all of them up and running on modern systems. Currently, you cannot play Myst 3, 4, or 5 on a modern system. GOG has the rest of them available. So they put a Kickstarter out to get these all going, and just to get all of the games, where is it?
$50.
$50 to get all the games. But if you back it at a bit higher level, you can get a book. You can get a linking book.
Yeah.
A working linking book that will open up and have the animated panel a la the game. And have it bound like a Myst book with hidden compartments and digital content. And 10-year-old cool. Me.
How much is that? $100?
$100, yeah.
For the book?
$100 bucks would just get you the
books. Yeah, just for the book.
Oh, it's $169.
There's like with the games.
$169 is the one with an animated panel and all the games.
Oh, okay. Okay.
$100 will just get you the book with the games. So
isn't there's like $1,000 one too?
They're sold out of that one.
Oh shit!
It has the original concept sketches from Riven. They only had 25 of them that they found, so there were only 25 of those available.
Oh, okay.
By the time I got around to backing this, I backed because I need that book. By the time I got around to backing this, and that was only a couple hours after it went live, they were out of the $1,000 levels.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
There's no way in hell I'm paying $1,000.
And they've made well above what they were asking. So
yeah, they're asking for $250,000, and they're edging on $1 million right now with about 40 days left, 37 days specifically. So
yeah, I'd love to play those games again. I don't know if I'd back it right now, but I really would love to play those games again.
Yeah, I'm probably going to be reading all of the novels again, because it's not like other things where someone else came in to write the novels. This was the original people writing the novels, and so they're actually good and tie into the games really well. Myst, you can get Myst Masterpiece Edition on GOG right now. Let me find the price real quick. It can't be expensive.
Yeah.
But yeah, go play at least the first one. Grab a notebook and go play the first one.
Right.
Yeah, you can currently get it for $6 on GOG.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Is it called totally Real Myst, right? Is that the one? Or is
no,
it just,
okay, so that's a different thing.
Oh, God. Okay. I opened up a can of worms. Oh, God, what have I done? Take it back! I take my question back!
So Myst Masterpiece Edition is the classic version, just with a slightly higher resolution. They made that, I think, for the 10-year anniversary way back when.
Okay.
And that plays like the original Myst did. Real Myst is the game remade in full 3D with free movement, so it's not like a hypercard stack. It's not like a slideshow you're playing. You can actually freely move around the world. And in Real Myst, they added a 5th age.
Okay.
A new world that wasn't originally in Myst. Which I still haven't seen that world because I've never played through Real Myst. despite having an old physical copy of it that I can't run on any computer that I own.
Right.
But yeah, Real Mist is included in this edition. There was a Masterpiece edition of Real Mist that released a couple years ago that you can get on GOG for $18 because that's 1080p widescreen full support.
Oh,
like
okay.
if you're gonna play Real Mist, you should play Real Mist Masterpiece.
Okay.
Man, yeah, I'm just real happy that it appears that the Mist fandom is still rabid.
Apparently, if all fucking 25 of the
$1,000
pledge fucking sold out immediately, then yeah, I'd say so.
I'm very happy. I'm a happy man. That's it for news that I have gathered. It sounded like, Wally, there was more that you wanted to bring up.
Yeah, just more of like, hey, I'm happy that this happened, kind of thing. That Vermintide 2 has reached 1 million players.
Yeah.
Wow. That's awesome.
And that's
impressive.
and that's one game I own. The other game I don't, which is A Way Out. A Way Out has gotten to 1 million copies.
Oh, wow. Damn.
I'm actually more surprised about Vermintide just because like they barely fucking marketed that game, but I think it was more word of mouth of like, hey, the first game was really cool and they seem to improve on this one, and then it just fucking exploded.
Yeah. I think though with Vermintide you have that kind of cult following of people who are fans of tabletop
Warhammer?
games
Of Warhammer?
and Warhammer.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you know, so you have that. It's both of those are very impressive though. Like I'm impressed that both of those made it to 1 million
Yeah.
already. That's
Yeah.
pretty quickly for games like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, it's a.
Congratulations.
I've already put like, I don't know, I want to say 3-4 hours in the Vermintide 2, and it's already better than the first one by far. And considering with it only being $30, like both Vermintide 2 and A Way Out being $30, like $30 games, one is a multiplayer co-op experience and the other one is a couch co-op experience.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, man, for one price of a AAA title game, you can get two really good games.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a good time to release those kinds of games, get into those.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because this year really hasn't had a lot of like big blockbusters that would normally eat up people's wallets.
Yeah.
Not yet. Not until God of War.
Yeah, well, see, I keep going back and forth on this because Monster Hunter did come out this year, but I don't think it's the same level of mass appeal as something like a God of War.
Yes and no, but I feel like with a lot of word of mouth being like, this is the like I've never touched them. I've seen so many people say like I've never touched a Monster Hunter game, but I tried this out and I'm fucking hooked on it.
Yeah. I'd be interested to see about Monster Hunter because Monster Hunter, I don't know, like Monster Hunter versus something like God of War, because Monster Hunter seems like internationally it might be more appealing. Like people in Japan, I think
they
would
go
be
nuts. The sales
more into Monster Hunter than God of War, but
and just wait till PC sales.
But we'll
come
see
out
when
later in the year.
Exactly.
That's gonna
really
fucking skyrocket.
But we'll see when God of War comes out, since it's getting such like critical acclaim right now and great reviews. Like it's going to, when they're basically saying, hey, you can pre-order this game if you love God of War, like, and feel free to, so even though I might not, I'm probably not going to, but
not going to what?
Right.
Pre-order it.
Oh, I already got mine. Mine's already purchased, like ready to go. I'm picking it up Thursday at 10 p.m. and I'll be there.
But I'm getting it. Like, I'm definitely getting it.
Right. So. Yeah, I'm probably gonna pass for a little bit.
I think what's great about there's no pre-order bullshit with it. It's just like, I mean there is, but it's like fucking whatever. Because it's like, oh, 3 cosmetic skins for the shield. And I'm like, okay.
That's the perfect thing for pre-order bonuses. They don't affect anything.
Yep. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm okay with it. Like, even though I'm like, sure, but I'm also like, good. This is how it kind of should be. Just stupid shit that doesn't impact gameplay. And the only reason why I pre-ordered it was because I got their collector's edition with the giant fucking statue of Kratos killing shit with his son. So I got kind of talked into that.
Yeah, I do like I like steelbooks and stuff. Like, and that would be a reason for me to pre-order. But I don't know if I really like the steelbook.
Yeah.
That I'm seeing with this one.
Yeah. Anywho, I think that'll wrap up the news. Why don't we shift on over to emails? You can email us at utterlygeek@gmail.com. That's utterlyg33k@gmail.com. Send them there with the subject line news or news somewhere in the subject line. We'll answer it here. We didn't receive any, but you can also reach out to us on Instagram at utterlygeek. That's utterlyg33k on Instagram. Steve, did we get any questions?
We got no questions.
Got no questions. You can also tweet at us at utterlygeek. That's utterlygeek on Twitter. Did we get any no tweets? Okay.
No.
Okay. You can also watch us live twitch.tv/cptwally. Monday nights, roughly 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Join us in the chat while we chat, and you can talk to us during the conversation. If it's pertinent and respectful, we'll bring it up. Otherwise, we'll bring them up here at the end of the show. If we get any questions, comments, or concerns.
Well, I mean, if you want to ask that. Tweeting 24J7 says, where the alcohol at? Take shots.
Oh, man. I drank a beer before this.
I didn't bring a drink with me this time other than water, and I'm kind of sad I did.
I'm actually not really drinking that much as of late. I've been kind of trying to lose weight since the new year, and I've been right on track. I'm down 25 pounds so far.
Nice.
And I attribute a lot of that to like not drinking much.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But then if I sit down on a Saturday night and have 3 beers, I am wasted. So.
Well, yeah, because your weight has gone down, so now it's just takes less alcohol to get fucking shit faced. Yeah.
Yeah. I haven't been drinking a lot either, and I drink like 2 beers, and I'm starting to feel it already. I'm like, damn, Jesus.
Yeah.
What's going on in my old age?
Yep.
I can't remember a time in my life where drinking 3 beers has made me go, whoa.
What's up?
But now it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why there's not much beer here.
I don't really drink beer anymore. I just have either like vodka tonic, which is like the most mixed drink that I'll have. Otherwise, it's just like scotch or bourbon. Or
if you want to drink and cut out calories, that's how you do that.
Oh yeah, yeah. Especially vodka and tonic, because it's got like nothing. Especially diet tonic, like which is what I have, which is what I'm used to having. Like I don't even have regular tonic. I always get diet, so it's like 0 across the fucking board on everything.
Well, no, that's about 64 calories if you count a shot of 80 proof vodka.
Nah, still.
That's what you got. You got to count the vodka, but I would actually step one further. I would do that in just a flavored seltzer. Done. Flavored seltzer has nothing in it.
Yeah.
There you go. God damn it. I think you're going to start. I'm going to have to start drinking those.
It's good.
Nothing.
It's real good.
I will get fucking wasted.
Yeah.
Okay. Sounds good. New releases is our final segment for the evening, and starting as always with PlayStation 4 for the coming week. We're getting into it. There are releases, more than one this week.
There's only one I care about. Fuck it, I don't care.
Yakuza 6, The Song of Life, comes out April 17th. If you want to play Shenmue, but in a modern setting, play the Yakuza games. It's Shenmue, but better. Don't Starve Mega Pack comes out April 17th on PS4. Pinball FX3 Star Wars The Last Jedi comes out April 17th on PS4. And God of War comes out Friday, April 20th on PS4. That's your big release for the week.
Woo!
Shifting over
That's what I'm going to be doing all fucking weekend. You guys will
Sure
not be hearing from me until Monday.
I probably will be playing that all weekend too.
I'll play Dishonored. It's fine. Shifting over to Xbox One, we have the Don't Starve Mega Pack coming out April 17th. And the Pinball FX3 thing also April 17th. That's it for Xbox One. It's really anything of note.
Man. Oh, Jesus. Poor Xbox.
Nintendo Switch releases this week. First, we see Wild Guns Reloaded coming out April 17th on the Switch. First I'm hearing of that. Wild Guns, if I remember correctly, is like an arcade shooter.
Yes.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
Like an on-rail shooter on the Switch.
Yeah, it originally came out on Super Nintendo, and it was like just this over-the-top fucking thing.
Yeah. I didn't realize they were remaking that.
Yeah. Well, there it is. Now it's on Switch.
Yeah, I will be checking something out with that. I'm going to want to watch a video. Let's see here. Also, Friday, April 20th, Nintendo Labo Toy-Con 1 variety kit and Nintendo Labo Toy-Con 2 robot kit.
Jesus.
I will be definitely keeping an eye on like just people what they're doing with that fucking thing.
I'm going to watch a shit out of Giant Bomb on Friday because you know they're going to do a live Labo stream where they have to assemble everything. And I want to see Jeff Gersman strap on that robot kit.
Oh, God.
And be a jackass. Labo seems like a really cool tool set.
Mm-hmm.
And a really cool toy box that I am not willing to pay for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some creative person with that tool set and a 3D printer will probably make something really fucking cool and make me really want Labo and a 3D printer.
I guess.
I want to see what that ends up being. Let me just quick scroll through the PC releases because we all know how this always goes. Usually pretty poorly. I probably won't see anything of value.
Hey, you know what is of value that's out on PC? Vermintide 2.
Vermintide 2.
Because it's $30, and it's a really fucking good Left 4 Dead clone.
The first one's real good too, but
yes, it is. But yes, the second one's so much better.
I think that's gonna be it. I didn't see anything of value on PC, but then again, it's kind of hard to see value in a sea of shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And I think that might do it for us this week. Thank you for joining us. We will meet you back here next week as we inch ever closer to E3 and events and more video games.
Mm.
Oh, yeah.
Contain your excitement, Steve. For fuck's sake. Like,
I
seriously.
can't. It's hard.
You're just like
so,
about to explode out of your
I'm
chair.
So excited.
So excited for those news.
Yes.
Yes. All right.
We'll see you next week before we all
Bye,
fall asleep.
everybody.
Bye.